Bad boy.
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? You've tuned in live to the flyest sports and entertainment podcast in all the land. This is statlinesmatter. I'm your host, as always, Mark Stewart, joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Rob Hunter Jr., a.k.a. Mr. Inappropriate. How are you today, sir?
It wouldn't be inappropriate if it was the 80s. So,
but we're not judging out the 80s. This is 2022, so that's like 40 years ago.
Well, but laws change, as we have found out over the past week.
Yes, exactly.
Things change, social norms change. We could get back to that.
You know what I also think has changed is the award shows. Like we've talked about many times, I'm a big fan of award shows.
Really?
I love award shows.
Award shows to the point where you watching like the Emmys,
I can catch the Emmys, but Emmys kind of because they have daytime and the whole night. But I love the big ones, like the big bowl games, like the Oscars.
Did you watch the Slap Live?
Oh, absolutely.
Really? So what did you think when you?
We all start because I was in my bedroom. We all started just running around and because the Oscars is a big day around here.
Okay. Yeah. Why?
Because we love film.
Okay. All right. So do y'all be like, man, I don't know. I think what one gonna win?
Yeah. No, we do we pick ahead of time and have contests who get the most right and stuff like that.
So who's the guy that gets?
Jack and Josh always get it right.
Oh, so they combine for one?
No.
They
one of the two of them
as a team.
One of the two of them. Yeah. Usually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
But anyway, last night was BET Awards. Well, not last night in terms of our airing, but recently.
Yes.
We had the BET Awards, and a couple things stood out to me. Aside from the performances and everything, Puff was honored with some sort of a lifetime achievement.
Yeah,
whatever.
With the surprise speech.
Yeah, all kinds of and so it was a lot of stuff. But the one sort of common denominator was everyone was dressed like it was wintertime.
It's not wintertime.
It's middle of the summer. I checked the weather in research for our program today, for our podcast. It was 85 degrees in LA. Everyone was wearing leather, pants and jackets, layers upon layers of clothing. Busta Rhymes had on a winter vest. Big Lotto wore fur. She had a fur on in the summer. And Kanye gave an entire speech where I thought he was going to overheat and have a heat stroke because he was wearing a winter coat, a mask, a hat, and gloves.
And shades.
And that was what stuck out to me, is the winter clothing. Like, it was almost like BET told him it was a Christmas special.
I
dress accordingly.
As I was watching Kanye give his speech, which was, obviously it was heartfelt and off the dome.
It was definitely off the dome.
But what struck me is how famous is he? He has now, ever since he started doing at least the first time I saw it, which is when he was here recording Donda and he was walking through the crowd with his face fully covered.
Right.
And
at the soccer game.
At the soccer game, yeah. And when he was living
in the football stadium.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, this dude is so famous that fully covered, you know who he is. Like fully all the way covered. If you see Kanye walking down the street and you see him with his face fully covered, you gonna know it's Kanye.
Fame is not the reason we know who he is. Crazy is the reason we know who he is.
He's a crazy genius.
When you walk in a room, the first thing that jump out is crazy. You be like, there's crazy.
I don't think that. I think that's the
so
genius.
When you walk in a club, you walk in an environment, you don't be looking for the crazy fool in the building.
No,
so
I
you
don't
can figure out who to keep a good eye on.
No, I be looking at what's the male to female ratio.
Why?
Just because I don't want to be around a whole bunch of. I want it to be
wherever you at.
But I want it to be. You know what I'm saying? You say the club, you say whatever. You know what I mean? Like, hey.
Well, why would the club not have a proper ratio?
Because sometimes there be too many dudes in there for me.
What club?
And I don't like that. I'm just saying, like, out in the earth clubs.
I ain't never been to that club.
So you can't tell me that this dude is like, obviously he's mega famous, but he reminds me of Prince in the regard that
Watch yourself.
There's never been an artist since Prince or before Prince that you put up a symbol and you know who that is, and that's Prince, right? He had the it's not the love sign symbol, but when he changed his name to the symbol, there's no other artist in the history.
Didn't work.
It don't have to work. When you see it on someone's car, if anyone, whoever they, whenever they lay eyes on Prince. It, they know that's Prince.
I mean, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's incredible. And
that shit was whack though.
It wasn't that whack.
The symbol was whack. Like,
it wasn't
Prince.
Whack.
Like, I never stopped saying Prince. Sorry, Prince.
Yeah, but you never called him Prince to his face during the time he didn't want to be called.
If he would have been up in here and he'd be like, "Don't call me that," I'd be like, "Okay, whatever, Prince."
But you know what? but you know what? He said that in an interview. Now we're going down the tributaries. He said in an interview that it didn't really bother him. He was like, you'd have people like just. He said most people would catch themselves and apologize, which wasn't a big deal. But he said it didn't freak him all the way out.
He's definitely Mama call him Clay. I'ma call him Clay. He's definitely that.
Anyway, I just thought that wow, this dude can cover his whole face and everybody still know who he is.
I think
like Trey Songz can't do that.
No, if Trey Songz put a hat on, he look like he gonna rob the place.
Like Pleasure P can't do that.
Nah, hey, don't say nothing about Pleasure P. He'll pull up. The one thing that I noticed about the Kanye speech in particular is Babyface was. I don't know why. Why was Babyface on the stage?
I don't know.
Did he introduce Kanye, who introduced Puff?
I guess because when I picked up on it, Kanye was already on stage and he was standing behind.
Yeah, he was standing behind, and he looked like That's
a lot of genius on that stage, boy. Whew.
It is, but have you ever seen a young kid at an indictment and have his parents kind of being there in support, but also understand why the indictment is happening? Like, that's the look that Babyface had on his face. He had to look like, I understand that this is crazy.
It wasn't crazy.
And the speech is insane.
It wasn't insane. It was a good speech.
The speech was insane. And he's just sitting there looking like, I hope my son don't do nothing. He had to, please don't shoot up the place. Look, he was looking at him like, go back and watch. Tell me if I'm wrong. It was concern. I'm here to support, but I'd rather not be here in case you do something.
That's what you inferred from his body.
I'm just looking at his face.
From his body.
I'm just watching his face.
I mean, I was excited to see Kanye up there. As everybody knows, I'm a big fan. And I'm a huge fan of Puff.
Yeah. So, Puff. I think the performance overall. Man, I mean, it was a little bit up and down, but I was excited to see it.
It was up and down. But I straight up got misty. They didn't fall, right? The tear didn't fall. But when they showed Kim Porter and they did that, man, out, and they had terrific footage of her.
Yeah.
Little Kim coming out was a little odd.
Well, Little Kim's double vocal or her stack started before
early. Yeah,
it didn't start early. It started on time. She started late.
She's like, "Oh, I'm on."
So she's like 4 bars into the record, and then she starts, and then just like it was going all bad. And I'm not gonna say nothing about Kim, but
yeah, hey. Oh, but okay, let's move away from Kim because Kim, you are a legend, and we just
we gonna give you the respect.
Yeah, we just gonna leave it right there. But KC sounded good on the
KC sounded okay.
He sounded good.
Grading on the curve.
On what curve?
The curve of where he's been lately.
All right, and he
sound good.
It's not forever
where
my
he's
lady
been
KC
lately.
But I thought he sounded good.
Now they were missing someone, but because they were covered in so much leather, I couldn't tell whether if it was Devontae or Dalvin.
You know who it is. Look, okay. So
who was missing?
Devontae was missing. It was Dalvin because Dalvin's always it's always one guy on these shows when they bring back these artists, these old school artists who they haven't really been doing that much.
So where's Devontae was on the tour though?
Oh, he may have been on.
No, they were all 4 on the tour.
You just never know.
Because I think it was predicated on all 4 of them being on the tour.
But there's one guy that's, like I said, just ain't been doing as much. And that guy's uber excited to get back on the stage because that guy's Dalvin. That guy was like doing all the hard dance moves, all the most jumping.
He was doing the only pelvis pelvic thrusting that we witnessed.
Because he ain't been doing nothing. Like, Casey and JoJo, they still been. I mean, they've never stopped.
Been on tour.
But Dalvin, I'm just saying that
the four of them have been on tour.
Hey, and shout out to. Wait a minute, y'all did some work with Dalvin on his album, right?
No.
Oh no, yeah, okay.
Shine,
yes,
was
shining.
Out.
Yeah, was
and
shining.
he was, he dressed nice and everything. Like,
yeah, Shine.
I was surprised to see him because I thought him and Puff had beef or something like that.
I mean, who didn't have
And Jadakiss came out. They killed their thing. You know what I'm saying?
Jadakiss has a voice that always sounded old and raspy, and just it aged very well because it sounds the same.
No, it does sound the same. But I'm gonna tell you, I came out with a lot more love and respect for Jadakiss after their verses.
Well,
he killed that.
Yes, he did. But that versus, who are they going up against? It was against who are they facing? Oh my God!
Dipset.
The Dipset, who has nothing but forgettable songs. This was
not true.
Oh my gosh, the Dipset guy, like no one is cranking up the Dipset records to get the party started.
Ballin' Went Hot.
Like that's what I'm saying.
You said
one song.
You said off.
Okay. You remember one, so I stand corrected. So everybody knows the Balling record. Thank God they got that one. But this was about versus was about Jadakiss. I don't even know the other two guys' names. Like it wasn't.
Was it Styles P?
It wasn't them. It was Jadakiss, who's a star, smashing a whole bunch of guys who just got together and put on some bandanas, and he smashed them. And that verses.
But I actually think that was the highest rated verses, and it was lit.
Well, because Jada did the star shit.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I did not.
There was only one star on the stage.
Okay, I'll give you that. What I'm saying is, coming into that, I didn't view Jadakiss like that.
Oh, okay. No, I did. I definitely
because I'm not into mad lyrics.
Yeah. But you never mess with Letter to Big.
Who?
Letter to Big from off the.
Who is he?
The song.
Oh, that's the song.
Yeah, that's a song that he wrote. He wrote a letter to Biggie, who's.
I've never heard.
Oh my gosh, great song. It was off the Notorious soundtrack, the movie.
I like we gonna make it.
Yeah, of course, man. Knock Yourself Out and
those are
serious great records. But I can't remember none of them other dudes' verses or nothing. Like he could have.
But my man's verse on the Benjamins was hard.
Okay, how'd it go?
I don't do the lyrics. But when he comes in, that shit, that's hard.
He may have had a hard moment in his life, When
he say, he said with the Latin chicks transporting in the chocha, it's hard.
In the chocha.
Yeah.
All right, that's what's up. We saying chocha on the podcast.
You can say that on the podcast, right?
I guess.
You want me to beep it?
Now you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying, to keep us so syndicatable.
One other thing, real quick, before we move on, is and I'm not sure you saw this because this hasn't gone wide yet, but for reasons that I can't explain, Ray J was eating noodles, a couple noodles, in the audience at the BET Awards. Maybe he's diabetic or something and his blood sugar.
But I don't think the noodles will help with diabetes.
Sometimes if your blood sugar is low, you got to just eat something.
But ain't no sugar in noodles, is it?
No, you don't have to have sugar. Maybe you just need it. Something to
something. You normally gotta have peanut butter or something I'm just saying. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he was eating noodles. Nah, that's just some weirdo shit. And then did you happen to check out the other the verses?
Well, I've seen the things that have gone viral. I'm gonna not lie and say that I watched it, but I watched enough of the clips to know that. Look, y'all know I'm in the industry, so I'm a walk light on this, but
I will walk quite the other. I will walk heavy, but go ahead.
We both gonna walk lighter.
Take your time, Pastor.
It didn't meet and or exceed the standards.
Okay.
Of verses of R&B music. It was a lot of artists trying to get to 20 hits.
Okay, so yes, and so I just saw the Instagram clips. So in order to get ready for the show, I went to YouTube, and the first thing that I was taken aback and perplexed by was the fact that this was 4 hours and a 32-minute clip. If that is that a clip? That doesn't qualify as a clip. That's a
saga.
yes, it's like Ben-Hur.
Yeah, that is a miniseries.
So I was really offended because I was like, not offended, but just perplexed, and I was like, but with Omarion versus Mario, that's like 26 minutes of songs that you'll know between the two of them. So I was like, how did they get, 4 more hours after that? How did that?
Especially,
and I'm like, all right, if you include B2K's records, then you got 38 minutes.
And I think they got
you got you got bump bump bump, and you got gotta be, and we're running pretty thin after that. And so I was like, what the hell? So anyway, as I'm looking at it, the weirdest, I thought that the Yin Yang Twins was out there when I'm looking at it, but it wasn't. Yeah, it was Sammy. And I was like, what in the Sammy? Where they dig him up from? Shout out to Sammy. We did a record on Sammy back when I was with them called Crazy Things I Do for Love. But I was like, why is he, how did he even get here? And he, again, one of those guys, like, it was Dalvin on the BET Awards. The most excited guy to be there, clearly, who had the most inactivity was Sammy. He was so happy to be on that stage.
Sammy still puts records out.
He can put all the records. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does put.
He puts some mad records.
Hey man, look, iTunes is there for everybody. SoundCloud's there for everyone.
He's not putting music out on SoundCloud.
All the music I'm
going to send you some links.
Yeah, please. Yeah, put me up on the Sammy discography.
Well, in fairness, I'm going to stick to the hits. You're not at the forefront. I'm going to stick to the new and new and noteworthy.
The new and noteworthy Sammy. Yeah. The new and improved
Sammy might have a few new and noteworthy.
Okay. All right. So I was like, man, I mean, 4 hours. I was like, that's like Prince and Stevie verses, like 4 hours and 32 minutes.
Yeah. Like and even it would get there'll be a little fatigue.
And they was like, and then it was so chippy. Like they were like, yeah, like everyone was talking like, oh, you ain't finna be singing on all that. Everyone was like, yo, you whack and you this and you that. And then Ray J, of course, had the moment where he was holding his son and so I then holding his son and he messed up. He had some flat notes there, and he blamed it on holding his son. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah. So he said, I messed up on that, but I was holding my son. That's and so the he said, I'm sorry, B. For all of you who don't know, was Brandy, who was in the crowd. And I felt like, how they gonna have Brandy there without an emergency mic? She should have had, like, in case things went left, they could just tag Brandy in, and Brandy could come and save the whole verse.
Did her and Ray J ever have any songs together?
They have. They did Think Twice. The old. No, it's Another Day in Paradise by Phil. They did a remake, which was dope. Their version is really dope. But the point is, just sing her stuff. Like, come out. Oh,
well, she already had a verse.
Boom, surprise. She just come in and save everybody.
You can't have two verses.
No, but she just come in and just sing her stuff. There's no verse.
That's like you're on a verse.
They just leave.
No, but now you're on a verse.
And it's a Brandy show.
Well, the other thing that I didn't get to was
like we would have all preferred that, right?
I happened to look and like fools got bands and dances. I'm like, just play the like y'all have been better off out of everybody. They would have been better off just press and play.
Yeah. And I have always been, well, not always, but ever since the Teddy Riley thing went left, I was always wondering how come they didn't sing. I said, everyone, Teddy Riley caught a lot of heat for that, but I was like, he was doing the right thing. Like they should be performing. And shortly after everyone started performing.
I'm about to say Teddy changed the game, but maybe they should change it back.
Well, they should. They should. All they got to do is just have a quality control. Give me a sound check. Let's everybody show up here about noon, run through, and then we'll decide whether or not you get to sing. If you can't get it, then okay, you'll be pressing play tonight. Go ahead, Mario. And I think Mario sounded pretty good though.
Yeah, Mario. Actually, I think Mario had a moment because he's one of the guys that I think like sort of maintained his visual,
his craft, everything.
He still looks like, and obviously Mario can always really, really sing. and he hasn't lost any of that.
Yeah, Mario, none of this was pertaining to you, by the way.
Yeah, Mario, you're exempt.
You're terrific, and I really mean that.
Yeah, all the conversation is directed. And listen, I'm not trying to even be overly critical. I'm just thinking about what they could have done to put on a better.
I just don't understand why was it so tense and everyone was we about to fight. Now we're about to fight. Now I love you. Now we're about to fight again. It's like,
yeah, I don't even think it was really a good matchup. It took too much to get to it. There's other things and other artists that I think we would like to see.
Sammy was saying that he had movies. Like I got movie songs and movies, and I got hits. It's about the hits, and I was like, dude.
But Sammy's hits came when he was like 13 or 14.
He had 2 hits from what I can remember.
But he has a lot of new and noteworthy material,
and that counts.
You need to check.
And that, damn it, that counts.
You need to check in.
Sammy, sorry.
New and noteworthy.
How long that get to stay up there on that?
I'm not sure. But Sammy can sing, man.
Sammy sounded fine. He just was like, I just thought he was doing the most.
I don't know. I didn't see any highlights.
I thought he was a yin yang twin. He looked just like, shake it like a salt shaker. He looked like that guy. He did. Because I didn't know who it was. And it was like, they said, Sammy. That's Sammy. That is Sammy.
Wow.
Holy smokes. Like, I'm glad to see you still doing your thing.
Did you,
I'm not that glad. I'm just happy you're not.
Yeah,
not
listen,
okay.
I'm happy everybody got a moment, and if they can parlay, I'm all for any artist being able to parlay, any celebrity, any viral, because they got a lot of viral action. Hopefully, people can turn it into something that works for them. Like it went.
Well, when I logged on this morning, it had 1.6 million views.
It went.
So there's that. So they won as a collective.
Yeah.
They won.
Also this week. In another black event, the NBA the NBA draft the NBA draft happened this week. It was interesting because each year less and less about the guys coming in, because unless you're an avid college basketball fan or you follow high school recruiting. That's kind of the best way to actually track this now, is to follow high school basketball recruiting.
Yes. And that was my feeling on not my feeling, but that was my vibe when I was doing the research, because the draft used to be a big deal.
A huge deal.
Back when
it is, but you sort of know it now in retrospect.
Yeah, but it was huge back when Iverson and Camby and LeBron and all those guys were entering.
It wasn't that big the year LeBron.
It wasn't that big with him.
It was actually massive. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just having fun. I just said that to make him mad.
Yeah, man. But you were very excited about, and then another thing about that time was you knew pick 9, 10, 11, 12.
Well, because 13. They were guys that played in Final Fours and guys that got deep in the tournament.
And they came back.
Yes.
And they played again.
That's why you knew them.
You knew who they were. So watching the draft.
You wouldn't start to get like names you didn't know to the second round.
Yes.
For real. And then those guys, a lot of times, were overseas.
Corliss Williamson with the 20th pick. And
and you'd be like, I've watched him in at least 40 games in his career. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So it was, it was. But actually, following high school recruiting, obviously, we knew who Chet Holmgren was, and
right.
I did not know who Banchero.
Yeah, well,
was I know he built
the name for himself in the tournament.
I knew who he was at Duke, but I didn't.
Banchero,
but it's pronounced with a K. Did you know?
Oh, Banchero.
Yeah.
Oh, did not know that.
Yeah, during my research. I didn't know it before.
Ricky Ricardo.
And he's Italian.
He's Italian?
Yeah,
I thought he was a Spaniard.
Nah, his mama black and his dad is Italian.
Hello.
The phone call you said today. I didn't say what I wanted to say. I said Italian.
What was you going?
You didn't want me to say to the white boy they're Italian.
He's Italian.
There's a white boy. That's white.
Italian is Italian.
That's white.
White boys are from like Lansing, Illinois.
Yeah.
He's from Italy.
But white boys in Lansing, they came from Italy.
No one from Lansing came from Italy.
They came from Italy.
Nobody.
They're white boys. Anyway, Banchero, his daddy white, and his mama black. His
daddy's Italian.
Daddy's Italian, sorry. His daddy's Italian. So I think he's the first Italian number 1 overall pick. Like say American Italian. So that's pretty cool.
I can tell you what I'm not about to do is check to see if you're right or wrong. You're right about you gonna have that. You got that one. I'm gonna let you have that one.
Did you see what the Pacers pick said about LeBron?
Yeah, I don't know the guy. I think it's funny that he said that because you talking smack to a dude who's gonna turn 38 during the season, and he might be 38 when y'all play now. And chances are, LeBron. It's almost a guarantee LeBron's going to warm him up that night.
Well, I found it really perplexing. I'll use that word again.
Well, I call out him. Call out like Bobby Portis or somebody. Like be like, I know I'm better than Bobby Portis. Like I know you know what I mean? Call out somebody right in the middle.
Well, I was like, you talking like there wasn't 5 other dudes taken before you. Like, so before you get to LeBron, there were 5 other GMs.
You might not be better than those guys.
Yeah. How did you get to LeBron?
Yeah, he's like, I'm the best he said I'm the best in the league.
Well, he's like, you got to show. I don't think nobody better than me. LeBron gonna have to show me. Like, I want to see this because ain't nobody better than me.
Look, LeBron gonna show you.
Well, and yes. And I'm like,
LeBron gonna take, like, after he get done showing you, he gonna enroll you in his promise school and get you some food out the pantry and some books
and a bike. Yeah, I mean, you averaged 18 points per game last year, like against guys who ain't going to the league. LeBron led the league in scoring unofficially against the best players in the universe.
He didn't.
He did.
He didn't.
He was 2 games short. He led the league.
Well, then he didn't.
Okay, all right. Anyway, he averaged the most points per game last year.
He did. I mean, there might be a guy who played 20 games. Like he didn't qualify.
So okay. Well, he averaged 30 points a game
in the games he played
against the best players on the planet. On the planet, this is a league that includes Jimmy Butler and all these and you scored 18 points per game against guys who ain't going to the league. And I'll just put this last little tidbit in there. Your name is Benedict. There's a ceiling on how good you're gonna be in the NBA.
What is his whole name?
Benedict Mathieu-Burn?
What do they call him?
Probably like just Dick. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Dick.
But what I do know
Dick Thyroid
is that we ain't going to be talking about Benedict being the best in the league. Because his name's Benedict. I think he's peaked. Like, Benedict's ain't supposed to be chosen number 6 overall.
Yeah, Benedict's athletically do absolutely have a ceiling.
And he's 6'6". Like, so you ain't about to do nothing to LeBron. Not at 6'6".
If LeBron stayed till his 45th birthday, you might catch him one night. You might catch him one night.
You might get Bronny, but you ain't gonna get LeBron.
Yeah, like I listen. I don't know why you put the target on your back, but everybody wants to go viral now.
But that's weird though, because now you don't need to go viral. You're the number 6 overall draft pick in the league.
Call out Jordan Poole.
Call out Kent Bazemore.
Yeah. I know I'm better than Kent Bazemore. Like,
yeah, call him out. Call out Otto Porter.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on Otto Porter, bro. I still think that Otto Porter should be brought up on charges for all the money he stole from my Chicago Bulls.
Hey, I thought y'all had something when y'all got him because I liked him when he played.
Yeah, I thought we did too, except for he did not like to play basketball in Chicago.
I mean,
rarely got off the bench, and now his legs look fine.
He got another ring.
Yeah, he looks another ring. Where do you get?
Oh, never mind. This is his first one.
Yeah,
you're right.
Otto Porter.
Otto Porter. I mean, speaking of names, what a name, Otto. Yeah. That's a never mind. You told me not to stop doing it, so I'm not gonna do it.
It's like there's Otto Porter and Otto Graham.
But how many black men do you use the name Otto?
I know as many black dudes as I know white dudes. Otto Porter and Otto Graham. I don't know nobody else named Otto.
But Otto don't seem like a black guy.
Otto Graham was a quarterback for Cleveland, right?
I don't know. I mean, I know who Otto Porter is, but I don't. Anyway. Was he the one with the on his knees, the famous picture in the mud with the after the game?
I don't think so.
You have to look that up. I think that was Otto Graham.
I think Otto Graham.
That's Otto Graham. Was number 60.
He was number 60 for Cleveland. I think.
Jeez, why do I remember that?
Yeah, I was gonna say this
crap.
Who do you think is going to be the star before we close out? Who do you think is going to be the guy? Or if you had to bet on Rookie of the Year coming out now,
I bet on Jabari Smith.
Me too.
Yeah, I bet on Jabari, and I thought he shouldn't have went third. And I started looking up, just comparing statistics. And when I saw that Chet Holmgren shot 39% from three. I was very impressed. Obviously being that tall. And so, and I looked up, I went to Jabari Smith. Jabari's
40%. 42%.
42.
6'10".
Yes.
Yeah.
You would not think that. I mean, you would think,
if you watch his highlight tape, you would.
My gosh. And so I'm all in on Jabari Smith. I told you I watched all the way up until he got drafted because I just wanted to see a dude from
that was funny.
The metro area.
I asked you, I said, did you watch the draft? He's like, yeah, to Jabari Smith. I was like, that was like 12 minutes into the telecast. Like that happened pretty quickly. Yeah. I actually watched like all of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Were you doing that?
Junkie. I'm a sports junkie.
I know, but you.
And so
like,
are you.
Sometimes, yeah, but you be missing stuff. Sometimes, like you ain't watching the game. Nah, man, I'm out.
Well, because I got a job. You know what I mean?
I'm out. I'm like, man, you.
I'm not just out. I'm out conducting business with clients. And stuff like that. But I did. I ain't gonna lie. I missed a fair amount of the finals games.
So for me to being surprised that you watched the draft.
Well, because that's the future. That's the future.
That ain't the future.
That's the future. Those are guys in the future.
There's like 7 of those guys that are gonna be. Man, you ever looked at the draft history of some of these? Like these guys go out, man.
Yeah, no, that one draft, and I mean
the second round is irrelevant for the most part.
Well, not completely true.
Well,
but
no, because you get Jokic. You find guys, but I'm just saying when you over the history, 60 guys being taken. These are the best players on the planet. They don't make it in the league.
One of the things that stood out to me is it's really about shooting. It's about wings. You got to be able to defend. They want long arms and they want you to be able to shoot the ball. And there's guys that are athletic that can't shoot that fell. Some fell to the second round. Some fell and went undrafted. Then you had guys that you would never think. Not that you wouldn't think they could make it in the league, but you were like, man, first rounder. But you realize every team needs a guy that can hit a corner three, that can, hit it on the swing. And it's just like, it's where the game is right now. It's the Doug McDermott of it all.
Yeah, they're drafting on potential. I mean, you got guys, that some of them don't even start sometimes, like
like Patrick Williams from the Bulls.
Patrick Williams and my man out with the Pelicans. I can't believe I forget his name, with the big hair, the center. He out of a Texas A&M, I believe. He didn't start, and then even in the junior year, averaged less than 2 points a game in high school.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lottery
about
pick.
The ceiling.
Yeah, so
there was a couple interesting stories and guys that had a really interesting path to the league. We'll see who comes out and elevates, but I like Jabari just like you do. It's not that I'm against any of the other guys, like out of those first three, because I am a bit of a Chet guy. I think he's gonna. There's some people who think he's just going to be terrible in the league, and I don't see that. But Jabari's my guy.
Yeah, I think I'm really high on the OKC and what they're building out there with Josh Giddey and Shea Gilgeous.
Yeah.
And now they have they got Trey Mann, and now they have Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
Look at Chet's 7 feet, 195.
Yeah.
That's a little. That's that.
When he get to Oklahoma, he need to go into
to the
whatever
cornfield.
the hood
He
is.
just go in the cornfield.
Well, he need to go
just start
Tulsa,
eating corn
whatever,
like a
Greenwood,
cow,
whatever, and get some greens and some sweet potatoes.
Like a man named Chet, you would think they going just Chet. You got to be bigger. You think bigger.
When I think of Chet, I think
of a bigger
Chet
white man. From Weird Science.
From Weird Science.
Yeah, the evil older brother.
Yeah, was he Gary or Wyatt's older brother?
I don't know.
Gary.
But then Kelly LeBrock turned him into like a Jabba the Hutt looking.
Froze him because he was being a dick.
Yeah, he was a dick.
No, he was.
And he was like trying to mess up their and these dudes were just trying to be recognized and noticed that they're high school.
Yeah.
And man, what a awesome turn of events to be on your computer and then develop, bring a girl out of your computer into your. I always wanted to do that.
We thank y'all for tuning in. To statlinesmatter. As always, we like to.
You didn't want to do that?
It was cool. It was a cool movie. I didn't ever thought it was possible.
Kelly LeBrock in the shower.
I recognize.
Hype.
I recognize that it wasn't real.
That's hype.
Even then.
Yeah, but I let my imagination be fanciful and just be.
Yeah, because you were younger. Because that movie came out, you were about 9.
Weird Science.
Why are you watching it?
I know.
I often ask that, but these are films that were not age appropriate.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Like what?
You want to do it on the moon? He was like, hell yeah, shouty. And remember the pies they were eating?
I wasn't that much into revenge shit.
What?
Nah.
Holy!
Because I was kind of a bully back then, so I didn't really like nerds.
So you were ogre. You were the
like I was like, I didn't.
You were with the
nerds.
Kappas. Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Man, Revenge of the Nerds was lit. Y'all let this man know.
You
never watched it? You don't know about the talent show?
I watched it.
Boop, 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 boop. Damn.
I don't remember any details.
You don't remember Lamar, the gay black guy that came with the rap?
Vaguely.
Really? Yeah. Oh man, when he came out, like, clap your hands, everybody, and everybody just clap your hands. It was great. It was great because it was like he came in with the rap, and of course back then, the black guy had to rap, and it was. I mean, they won the talent. It was great. God, man, you gotta
check it out.
Turn. Hey, have y'all seen Revenge of the Nerds? Oh, you gotta watch it. Y'all get off on. You seen Revenge of the Nerds? And you ain't seen Last Dragon either.
Hit like, subscribe, and get the notifications. Follow us on all of our social media platforms, which is statlinesmatter on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And like normal, I am Mark Stewart. This is Rob Hunter, a.k.a. Mr. Inappropriate. And now we know why, because he was watching all the teen movies as a
Porky's
7 or 8 year old. And this is Stat Lines Matter.
Peace.
Bad boy. I ain't come for games. Say it to my face. Say it to my face. I ain't come for games. Say it to my face. Say it to my face.